Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Kheperah Kearse. I'm the Director of Wellness and Therapeutic Services at LifeCamp Inc. And we are so excited once again to have our beloved Queens Borough President, Ms. Sharon Lee, with us on Wellness Wednesday. Welcome, Sharon.
Hi,
How are
everyone. Hey,
you?
Kheperah. I'm as well as can be. How are you?
About the same,
Yeah.
just looking for spaces and pockets of joy in all of this, like really, really determined to bring in this 4th of July with peace, with health, and some
Yeah.
loving self-care,
Yeah. Yeah.
How about yourself? Do you have any plans?
I don't have any plans, which I think is a luxury in and of itself. There's a couple of things throughout the weekend, but for the most part, I'm going to try to keep it plan-free.
That's good. No, I hear that. I know that a lot of people are planning to come out this weekend. 4th of July typically brings families out and barbecues. And I think with our numbers going down significantly with COVID, I mean, congratulations that Queens has now the lowest numbers of COVID related deaths, in New York when we were just on the other side of the spectrum. So, how does that feel?
It's a relief, right? So we can breathe a sigh of relief, but we're not entirely out of the woods yet. And
Yeah.
so I think some of the challenges, reminding people we can't yet let our guards down. It's still very real. And, I know there's a lot of fatigue out there. Oh, masks and, oh, social distancing and, oh, I can't,
Yes.
I'm tired of cooking for myself, like there's a lot of fatigue,
Yeah.
pandemic fatigue. And that's really hard to, balance when we want to keep the numbers low. And
Yes.
especially when, as you remember, the pandemic, the consequences we don't see immediately, right? Like you don't get sick immediately. You can be enjoying without a mask and being carefree, and there can be consequences days or weeks later, not just
Yes.
immediately. So that's something that we don't want to further cause further anxiety for folks.
Yes.
But it's so important because losing lives is just not an option, right? So
No, I mean, I totally agree. I
yeah.
wonder if I know we were talking earlier, and I love the term. I don't love the term, but I like the term pandemic fatigue because I think it's a kind way of really letting people know that we understand what people are
Yeah.
going through. Like you really are present to that. And you were telling me about some creative ways, things that you've done with your mask. I know Tracy and I had been talking before, but sometimes just finding some new creative ways or new discoveries to use the same old thing can kind of reinvigorate use. Can you tell us more about what we were talking about earlier with the mask? I just loved it.
Well, two things. One, since I was last on your program 2 weeks ago, now wherever I see aloe, I think of Kheperah.
Ah!
And I think of
I
you
love it.
chomping on the slice of aloe and,
Yes.
convincing yourself that it is delicious, even though it was probably the most bitter thing.
It is indeed,
um,
indeed.
so I think I see aloe, actually pretty regularly. I didn't even think of it until your show. And then now I'm seeing aloe everywhere, and I haven't yet done the challenge,
Okay.
but that'll be
That'll
soon,
come.
sooner than later. But the other thing, since the last time I was on your program, I found a little trick where we're all wearing masks, hopefully. We're all wearing masks, and one day I just came across some live fresh rosemary in a friend's garden, and I was like, can I just pluck a couple, what is it, are they called leaves? I guess they're leaves.
Yeah.
So I plucked like 3 of them, and just kind of crushed them a little bit to get the scent out, and then just stuck them in my mask, and it was like this little aromatherapy cubby
Yes.
in front of me. And it was so soothing, and it was natural, and just some ways to mix it up a little bit, because I know there's pandemic fatigue, right? Everyone's tired of the masks, and
Yeah.
everyone's tired of wiping everything down and decon when you come home, and
Yeah.
and everyone wants to dine the way we used to, especially with the weather, and
Yeah.
but there's a lot of, we have to stay on guard. We can
Yeah.
enjoy life, but stay on guard. So,
Yeah, and find pockets of joy. Like I love that you put the rosemary.
and mint,
I
and
actually,
mint,
oh,
mint works
and mint.
too.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. And
yeah,
you don't even, for folks who are listening, like you don't even have to leave the leaves in. You can just rub the surface of the fabric of the mask.
mm-hmm.
I did that once, but I OD'd. I actually used some eucalyptus oil, but it was so
Yes,
strong that I couldn't breathe. So then what I did was I realized I just kind of had to put a little on my finger and rub it in lightly, but I just kind of, doused it. But I love that idea. And I wouldn't be surprised if someone decided to create, you could even put the herbs in the pockets if your masks have those pockets.
right.
That's a nice way to like walk around and enjoy. But I love that, and it's soothing, or some fresh lavender leaves. And you're
Yeah,
walking around with your own spa. So you're having a completely different, like an elevated experience in the same
right,
situation.
right.
And that's what we want to show
Yeah.
folks. I made some homemade air freshener that I wanted to share with you, because I did this last week. Well, I've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, but I did it last week on the show. And I had such a great experience. I just wanted to share this with you, because I found when I was going into the supermarket, I couldn't find, really good natural air freshener. And if you're in an apartment and you don't really have a lot of open space, you don't want to keep spraying aerosol, right? So also, like you said, a lot of people not only feel pandemic fatigue, they're stressed. There's a lot of anxiety about safety, about a potential surge in coronavirus. And so I got some lavender oil, I got some lemongrass, and I actually got some valerian. Valerian is also a tincture that you can take. It helps to relax. It actually helps you to sleep. But I just decided to create something in my apothecary. And so I literally took each bottle of oil and I held it over. Oh, look at that. I got a lot of a lot of the lemongrass in here. So look at that. But I took the bottle and I just basically hold it over and maybe let like 15 to 20 drops come out of each. And just in some water. And literally we're talking about, I went to the dollar store and got like a $2 spray bottle, So I just did that. I put this in. And when I tell you, Sharon, I want you to try it. And if you don't have valerian, I know that's like a tough one. That was a little fancy.
That's a new one. I've never heard of that. I don't even know how to spell it.
You can even use Valerian. But valerian is also most commonly known in tinctures and taken as drops. But you could also do lavender, tea tree, or eucalyptus and lemongrass, because they also have, eucalyptus clears the air. And so does tea tree oil. And it also is very calming and actually good for the heart, good for the nerves. And when you spray it, the difference is, how you're in the store and you spray and then you kind of have to smell. I could spray this over me and just, oh, Sharon, woo! Sharon, you don't understand. Hold on a second. Watch this. Welcome to my home. Oh, it's so good. But you see, laughter. We have to find pockets of joy. This cost me the cost of these oils. These oils will last me for at least a month. This bottle cost me $2, and this just gave me it feels so good. You could even put it in a spritz and do a little facial mist. But we have to find those pockets of joy. And I just wanted to share that with you, because we have to get creative, and it's fun to be childlike and creative and be crafty,
Yeah. And I love that you're focusing on like senses, like different senses, right? But in particular, sense of smell, just because so many studies have shown, and also not just studies, but like, do you ever like smell something and you're like, suddenly you get what's the word where you
like
remember
it takes
a certain
you somewhere?
time? It takes you
Deja
somewhere. Like
vu.
it triggers a memory. And sometimes it triggers good memories, sometimes it triggers bad memories. But what
Yes.
that means is, that must mean, I'm not a doctor, but that must mean that our sense of smell does so much to our mind, right? And
Yes, it
our muscle
does.
memory. And
Yes.
so if we can surround ourselves with senses of smell, for example,
Yes.
that's going to be part of our muscle memory. It's part of our memory. It's part of our mindfulness.
Yes.
That's one of the things that we can control in a time when so much is out of our control. And I think that's part of what's also triggering a lot of anxieties and trauma for a lot of people, when, you know, it's the unknown and the unpredictability that is the most anxiety provoking. And
Yeah.
so whatever we can control, whatever we can predict, whatever can be certain, such as the sense of smell that
Yes.
we
Well,
have
no,
in our home.
it's so true, because we use aromatherapy in our therapeutic services because it does
Wow.
have a direct messaging to the brain. It also actually immediately relaxes the nervous system. But what you said just now just triggered something. It made me think of a circuit breaker, and voila, I have one here. I'm so predictable. But imagine this is us, right? And all of these are the different inputs that plug into us for something. We've got the kids, right? Oh, today is the first of the month. We've got our bills that are due. I know I do. And, we've got just the stress, the responsibilities of work, and the demands of working from home. And some of those things don't even fit right and feel right because we're not used to having all cylinders going at one time. But imagine most people are overloaded most of the time these days. And then they're taking in information in the news and social media. And then who do you plug into for relief? Because most of us can't even take one of these dependents off. They're plugged in and they're dependent and they're pulling on us. And so this can cause us to overload. And what you just said about muscle memory, actually, when you don't release stress, it actually makes an impression in your cells and you have that cellular memory. And so you can experience something stressful that might not be a big deal, but it triggers the previous memory in your cells. And so all of a sudden the brain doesn't know that you're not in 5 years ago or 5 days ago or last night or the previous social media post. It aggregates everything and you could potentially burn out or explode. And so it's really important to find ways to heal and release that cellular stress. And aromatherapy is one of the most effective ways to do that because it's immediate. It's absolutely immediate. And I even encourage people to keep a small bottle of lavender, in the car or in your pocket or in your bag. So you can just take a few drops and just breathe it in. Or if you don't have anything, you can peel a lemon or an orange, Sharon, and rub it on your hands, literally, and smell it or put it in your mask. Because you can, what you said, like totally set the tone for the show, because you can actually walk around self-soothing while you're going to get your essentials, which could be stressful. So I just love that you introduced that. And I think it's important for all of us to just kind of do a little self-check and just see where the stress is. Is it in the chest? Is it in the throat? Is there something unexpressed? And take those baths and take the time to just enjoy moments of beauty. Like, I love these flowers, and just looking at the color makes me feel good.
Right.
So I just love that you're so in tune to this. Love that you're really about the human condition. It's one thing to hold a seat and have to navigate a borough and all the technology that comes with running, a geographic location. But it's another thing to really be connected to the people. And I really, really acknowledge that about you. And thank you for that tip on the masks, because I think one segment we're going to have to get creative. Now I've got some ideas. I want to find some creative, cool things to put in masks, and maybe we could do something to give out to the community, some herb flavored masks or some fruit flavored masks or something like that,
And in addition to aromatherapy, I imagine that you've got a couple other recipes for surge protectors for us today.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
I see a lot of ingredients for surge protectors on your
Yes.
table right there.
Yes, the apothecary is ready, so we're going to start. But thank you so much, Sharon, always for your support, for just being a heart leader being so in tune and creative and being right there with us in this process. So have a beautiful 4th of July. I pray that it's restful and rejuvenating. And if you find any other mask ideas, let me know.
I will. And if I may, Kheperah, one thing I will ask anyone who's watching this, whether it's live or if you're watching it later on, if there's one thing that I may ask of you over this long weekend ahead, is to focus on 3 things for yourself, for your families, for anyone you love, because no one is an island. And so I ask that you focus on 3 things. Number 1, peace. Number 2, safety. And number 3, self-care. Just those 3 things I ask for the upcoming weekend. And then I will see you soon. But thank you, and thank you for all the tips on surge protections for everyone in this borough. It's an unprecedented time on multiple levels. Hopefully there is more good than harm, but we have to protect ourselves and each other. So thank you for what you do, Kheperah.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Have a wonderful day. We appreciate you so much.
I'll watch you online.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm gonna just wash my hands so we can get ready to prepare for our segment. And so, you know, I just love speaking to real people who lead from the heart, you know, because there's such a genuineness, there's such a wholeness in working with and connecting with people who care about the well-being of the human condition and our community and our family. So this Wellness Wednesday, we want to get you ready for this 4th of July. And one of the first things we want to do is, like Sharon Lee said, we want to focus on safety, we want to focus on health, and we want to focus on self-care. And before anything can begin, everything begins in the mind, and then it comes out through the mouth. And so what I'd like to do is create an affirmation. Then instead of having a weekend, that we look to have a strong beginning. One of my elder teachers, Baba Heru, he runs the studio of Patah. He, in Manhattan, I might as well plug it all the way on Canal Street, support small businesses. He's an amazing craftsman with metals and crystals. And he always said to us, there are no weekends, only strong beginnings. So this 4th of July, I want us to set an intention to have a strong beginning. It's the beginning of the summer. How do you want your beginning of the summer to look? How do you want it to feel? What do you want to experience? You want safety, you want self-care, you want health and well-being. And so I have my new favorite toy, which is my crystal singing bowl. And I thought maybe we could just do a little breathing exercise and just listen to the tones and set the intention for a strong beginning. So wherever you are, just get comfortable. You know, if you're sitting down, just sit comfortably and try to keep your back erect, because think of your spine like an antenna. And you want to just relax into your weight. Just feel the weight of your body being supported by your chair. And just take a moment to just breathe. Recognize that you're breathing. Literally be present to how the breath feels when it's cool coming in through the nose and it's warm coming out through the nose. And I'm just going to strike this bowl. I just want you to listen and just breathe in as you listen to the tones. Just breathe in and breathe out comfortably. And now I want you to bring to mind a time when you really felt really good. Just really, really good, like a good memory, or seeing family and friends, someone that you love. Just think about how that person made you feel. And I want you to bring that feeling to the surface. And now take another deep breath in and breathe in that feeling. Breathe in that positive energy, and set the intention that this strong beginning is going to be filled with peace, with love, with that good feeling. And I want you to hold that feeling. When you hold a good feeling for 10 to 30 seconds, you actually reprogram the brain. You actually begin to relax the nervous system. And you begin to project those good feelings and experience. Picture yourself happy. Picture yourself in good health. Picture yourself feeling good. And set the intention that this 4th of July will be a strong beginning for the best summer ever, despite all the odds, because everything you experience starts here. And so I just wanted us to get in alignment and set the tone as we begin our session. So thank you for participating in that. We talked earlier about the surge. If you're a surge protector, all the things that are plugging into you, and then who do you plug into for relief? Where do you go to get a break? You know, who can you count on? I'm just gonna plug the power back in because my phone counts on the surge protector, and so does my juicer in order to work. So just had to do that. But we teach in 3 frameworks. So those of you who've been following us, we talk about getting in alignment, doing something to keep the body alkaline, and then reminding yourself of who you are, getting a good word to remember who you are. So whether it's about safety and peace in the body or in your community, whether it's about self-care, whether it's about maintaining your health, doing these 3 things, getting in alignment, just listening to a tone, and you don't have to have a singing bowl. You are the singing bowl. You can just, I'm no songstress, but that hum felt good, right? You can just hum to yourself. You can just sit and breathe, and that actually relaxes the nervous system. What it also does is it gives you space. They say between stimulus and response is space. Most of us have a short distance between stimuli and when we respond. The more you sit in stillness, the more you sit and breathe, the more you create space so that when stimulus happens, you're not quick to respond or fall into the stress. In addition, we really want you to have full permission. Allow yourself full permission to say, I'm triggered, I'm angry, I'm hurting right now. I need a moment, I need my space. If you put your hands out in front of you, this is your personal space. This is the space that belongs to you. And how you know it's truly yours is that if anybody gets past this threshold, you can feel the energy. They're either gonna kiss you or you're gonna fight, or something's gonna happen because this is your personal space. Protect your space. So if you need to put aromatherapy in your space, like I just created my little home spritz and just spray around so I can bless my environment. If you need to have music in your space, if you need to just have no one and nothing in your space, just give me this. If you're sheltered in place with people, just give me this. Give me my personal space, my personal distance, and be in that and honor that, okay? And that's how you'll get in alignment so that you can prepare for health, for peace, and self-care. So let's get into the alkaline. We talked about getting in alignment. The second is getting alkaline, and then of course, remind. And to help you remember, we say align, alkaline, remind. Say it again. Align, alkaline, remind. One more time. Align, alkaline, remind. You and me. Align, alkaline, remind. Let's get free. So let's get free. So today we're going to do 2 drinks. One is going to prepare you for this strong beginning. So one of the things we heard Sharon Lee talk about is we do want to prevent the surge of coronavirus. In parts of the country, you know, there are now more cases of coronavirus, more people are being hospitalized. And in other parts of the country, the spread has gone down, particularly in New York, where it was the epicenter. So again, congratulations to New York. We're New York strong. For flattening the curve and reducing coronavirus deaths and hospitalizations, but we want to continue to stop the surge. And so it wouldn't be a day without my aloe. So everyone who knows me, even like Sharon, I love that she says now when she sees aloe, she thinks of me. There are so many other things that people can think of. So I'm honored to know that it's aloe when you think of me or you see it. We want to make a drink today. The first one is called the Surge Protector because we want to prevent the surge. So listen very carefully. 4th of July is this, what, Friday or Saturday, right? It's this strong beginning. So we've got about 2 or 3 days to prepare the body. The goal is to prepare the body and build the immune system before you go outside. Or before you go to celebrate or however you enjoy your weekend, because I'm sure a lot of people are outside. In addition, you also want to begin to relax the nervous system. We did talk about the fact that when we've been overloaded, you have to really heal and release the stress from the cells in the body. You have to release that energy so that you don't add stress on top of stress. If you walk into an environment this weekend and it's hectic and people are out or there are safety issues, you won't be as riled up or as triggered if you take the time to prepare yourself now. So allow me to introduce the Surge Protector. So a couple of things. Also, always remember life is like a bowl of cherries. Best eaten when ripe. You have to find pockets of joy. That was such a good cherry. Good fruit, good food. It makes me happy. What makes you happy? Whatever makes you happy that is healthy for you, please do it. Please have some joy. Anyway, I've got my Surge Protector, which is an aloe vera leaf. I've got a fresh pineapple, and I've got some turmeric. So let's talk about these things and why I call them the Surge Protector. It's like an internal mask. Here's what aloe vera does, if you don't know by now. Aloe vera has over 72 vitamins and minerals, vitamins A, vitamin C, potassium, magnesium. Aloe vera cleans the blood. When you clean the blood, it does a couple of things. It actually begins to heal and remove the cellular impressions from previous bouts of trauma and stress. So again, if you've experienced stress in the past and you didn't have a chance to properly release it, it gets into the blood. It gets into the cells. And so when you clean the blood, you actually repair the cells. So aloe vera cleans the blood. When you clean the blood, you also bring more oxygen and life to the different parts of your body that need it, so it fortifies your health. Aloe vera also builds the immune system. So again, your internal mask, and it clears the digestive system. So aloe vera, again, a one-stop shop. First thing you do is you cut off the rinds. And then I'm just gonna chop this in big chunks because I'm gonna put this in the juicer. But it's also important that you cut off the thorns on the side, okay, like that. Or as my friend Tabitha in my head says, like so, like that. I like her a lot. And continue to cut off the thorns, okay. And then we've got 3 pieces of aloe. Now, you know, we can't just juice aloe. You know, we got to take a bite. So this is to all my gangsters out there who have not yet participated in the Eat Aloe Challenge, including you, Queens Borough President Sharon Lee. You try saying that fast. Queens Borough President Sharon Lee. Here is to your health. Here is to the health and well-being of everyone under the sound of my voice. Delicious. I challenge you to eat aloe vera like it is a delicious piece of candy. Your blood will thank you. Your immune system will praise you. Your skin will glow. Oh my God, that was good. And yes, I've gotten to the point where, because I know how good it is for me, I don't flinch. I'm actually so happy and grateful that I have aloe. So we've got our aloe, we've got our pineapple. And you know, since I'm in a munching mode, let me just taste this pineapple. Y'all, I'm having a good time. Okay, so I've got my aloe. I'm going to turn on the juicer. I think it would help if my juicer were plugged in. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to put my gloves on, even though I washed my hands and I've been eating my fruit, but I have a feeling this is about to get a little messy. And so if you don't have a juicer, you can certainly use a blender. You can take the aloe and the pineapple and the turmeric, and you can put it in a blender and just mix it with a lot of water. But I'll explain how we're going to consume it in a second. And remember, this is the surge protector. This is to stop the surge. So you've got your aloe. It's kind of slimy when it comes out. So you might want to taste it with a piece of pineapple, just so that the juice from the pineapple can actually push it out, and just make sure I'm completely covered here. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Throw some turmeric in there. Turmeric is anti-cancer. Turmeric is immune building. Again, stopping the surge. This is your internal mask. We talked about putting on a mask on our faces, and now you want to put a mask inside the body. You want to do something that's going to protect you, so when you go outside, you'll be fortified. So when you go outside, your body will be more resistant to being susceptible to maybe contracting coronavirus, or if heaven forbid, you actually did become asymptomatic or contract the virus, your immune system will be strong enough to help your body fight it as best as possible. And that's what you want. You want to give yourself a fighting chance. You want to stop the surge. You want to continue to use your external masks, but you also have to do something on the inside. We don't always want to wait for a problem before we look for a solution. And so here I have my aloe, pineapple, turmeric mixture. Woo, look at that. That looks good. It's nice and yellow, just like the sun. The sun brings us so much joy. The sun brings us vitamin D, which is good for our overall health. And so now I'm going to take this mixture and pour it in a mason jar. I like using mason jars because I think some of it is emotional for me. My mom used to always make preserves in mason jars, but they're just so multi-purposeful. You know, they're great to take with you on picnics, but they also are good to put in the fridge because they come with these really cool caps. And then I'm going to take some water and I'm going to dilute this mixture with water. So 50% of the mixture and 50% water. Now, again, you want to do this for 2 days because what this is going to do is clean your system. And so it's not going to have a laxative effect per se, but it is cleansing. So you are going to have a cleansing effect. And that's a good thing, right? Because whatever you put in the body that doesn't belong there, you want it out. When you eat a lot of starch, a lot of dairy, a lot of meats, it doesn't move out of the digestive system very well. And so that blocks the immune system. Oh, did you know that 70% of your immune system is in your gut? Yeah. So if you're eating foods that don't move, it actually blocks the immune system's ability to kind of send out all of those gamma rays, so to speak, to protect the body. So you want to keep that digestive system clear. Also, it reduces inflammation. So for those of you who've had pre-existing conditions due to stress, whether it is arthritis or high blood pressure, aloe vera also reduces stress. Pineapple also has elements that release serotonin. And serotonin is one of the feel-good hormones that helps to relax the body. So we've got our aloe vera, we've got our pineapple, and we've got turmeric. It's that simple. This is called the surge protector. And so what would it be without a taste, right? Whew, here we go. Ah, look at that. And you can fool the kids because, like, not for nothing, this just looks like orange juice. They have no idea. But anyway, let's give it a taste. Okay, wait. Wait, hold on. Okay, Sharon, if you're still watching, let me tell you something. If you do this, you can have aloe all the time. The pineapple actually overshadows the taste of the aloe. So what I taste is pineapple. I smell the turmeric. I don't taste the aloe. And I know you're thinking, yeah, right, Kheperah, you eat aloe raw, so you wouldn't taste it. But I'm telling you, try it. I dare you. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Surge protector. So you can, I'd say this is good for like maybe 4 glasses. You can share with your family. Make two jugs, right? Or if it's just you by yourself, I dare you to love yourself enough to do this. What it also does, again, for stress and anxiety, it also relieves stress. Aloe vera has ingredients that, again, reduce inflammation. Pineapple is considered the happy fruit because it helps to release serotonin, which makes you feel better. And turmeric is anti-cancer, it's overall well-being. So this does two things. It makes you happy, it makes you healthy. So why not? Any excuse to take another sip. So that's drink number one. Now with this one, you're taking this at home before you go out because, again, you don't want to be cleansing outside, right? But the second drink, it is 4th of July. People love a good lemonade, right? And so what would a 4th of July strong beginning be without a little lemonade? So what I decided to do, took a few shortcuts. I did cut up some lemon, and I've got some key lime here. Oh, they're so cute, right? Key lime has a lot of flavor, even though it's little. So shout out to all the petite folks in the world, right? I'm actually going to use these for garnish. I wanted to save some time. I kind of am creating this drink thinking about those who might be going outside, or you're going to a loved one's home, and maybe you don't really have time to juice and squeeze and all of that, or maybe you just want to bring your own drink. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I'd show you a little trick. This is our Love Life Lemonade. So this is a Life Camp special. This is a drink that I actually created, or I imagined many years ago when I would teach workshops, and I was trying to get people to like drink something healthy or consume something healthy. And I'm like, who doesn't like a good lemonade? So I got some organic lemon juice because I just didn't feel like doing this. And again, if I were traveling to a friend's house, I could carry all of this in a tote and just get some ice and make my own drink. Follow what I'm saying? So again, you can take the time to juice the lemons and the limes, or you can just do like I did. I got some 100% pure organic lemon juice. So you can just pour about, that looks like about a cup because I've got my mason jar here. And that would be the equivalent of maybe like 4 or 5 lemons. Again, lemons, vitamin C, which helps, of course, to reinforce the cells, to make them strong, to prevent them from coming under attack from antioxidants and colds and flu. And then I've got my sweetener, maple syrup. So I'm not using sugar because sugar weakens the immune system, right? And maple syrup has the same type of sweetness. Now, do keep in mind, this is real maple syrup. Today is my day for verbal tongue twisters. I'm having so much fun. Maybe it's the geek in me, but like I'm really enjoying time with myself. And I pray that that's an example to you. Even if you're sheltered in place with yourself, if you can't laugh with yourself and crack up at your own jokes, then how much fun are you going to be at a party? So maple syrup has one ingredient, maple syrup. This is not, high fructose anything. It is just pure maple syrup. And the reason why we use this is because it has zinc. Zinc is excellent for the prostate. So for all the men out there who think this is just a girly drink, no. This is really, really good for you. And a lot of our men are actually suffering from prostate cancer. And so we want to make sure that you all take care of yourself, or if you're a girl who's taking care of a guy, you take care of your man. But some maple syrup. Zinc is also good to prevent colds, right? And look, I'm sorry, I'm doing this old school style. I'm a little Southern. I am doing this to taste, but it really all is relative to you. You're doing this to taste, and I've measured it. I should have put it in a measuring cup. My bad. But this is probably about a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, okay? And then what else do I have? So I also have some chlorophyll. So this is where we get a little more gangster with it, right? Chlorophyll is like the blood of plants. So what makes plants green? Chlorophyll is what allows plants to do something called photosynthesis, where they absorb the energy from the sun and turn it into oxygen for us. That's why it's good to have plants in the house, right? Because plants give off oxygen. Well, chlorophyll not only is the blood of plants, it builds the blood. It builds the red blood cells. It brings oxygen to the blood cells. It makes the blood strong. So once again, immune builder, blood fortifier. And if you're going to be out in the sun, one of the things that I used to do when I'd go to the beach is I'd bring a chlorophyll drink, or I'd just put this in some water and I'd drink the chlorophyll, because I figure if I'm more plant-like, I can probably absorb more rays of the sun with sunscreen, but still, like, you know, I just felt like maybe I could be more magical and plant-like. So it always made me feel good. Maybe it was just because I thought it in my mind and I set the intention, but either way, it's all good. So the chlorophyll, I'd say, with this jar, this is probably 2 to 3 tablespoons full of chlorophyll, right? You want to make it nice and green. And then I'm going to get some more water. I already have some ice. Okay. And you're like, Kheperah, this doesn't really look very good, but let me tell you, anybody that's been to Life Camp, anybody that's come to one of our outdoor picnics, anybody that's come to one of my trainings knows this is some good stuff right here. Because think about it. All I did was use lemons and sweetener, and I turned it green. Don't kids love like funny colored drinks? This is green lemonade. That's all this is, with some ice, baby. And then a little cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is good for circulation. Now, if you have high blood pressure, you may not want to use the cayenne pepper, but cayenne pepper gives it a nice little kick, because, you know, it's the 4th of July weekend, or strong beginning, and you just want to fortify the body. Cayenne pepper is also good for colds and flu, believe it or not, and it also reduces inflammation in the throat. So let me get my special glass for my Love Life lemonade. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And again, I can take this with me on the go. I can BYO, bring your own drink, bring my own lemonade, BYOL. Look at that. Oh, 2 drinks in one day. I'm a lucky girl. So this is the Love Life lemonade. And what's also beautiful about this is when you drink a chlorophyll drink, it actually makes you feel good, because again, it's a healer. It helps the body to repair itself. The body is under stress and can't repair itself when it's under stress. When you heal the body and you heal yourself, you also heal the emotions. So let's give this a taste. Yo, wait. I'm having so much fun. Listen, this is my private party, and I can drink all of this if I want to. This is so good. Try it. It's refreshing. I got the lemon popping off. The maple syrup makes it sweet. You can make it, you know, as sweet as you want. I know some people are into the super sweet tea, but it's just the right amount of sweetener. It's not too sweet. The cayenne pepper just gives it a little kick. It's not overpowering, and it's cool. Look how frosted my glass is already. Can you see the frost on that? Just from the ice. Oh, this is good. Now, imagine, wait, hold on. Let me get my chair. I don't think y'all understand. I need to post up in the backyard. Our Queens Borough President is going to be chilling this strong beginning. She can sit outside or on her terrace or however she lives with this Love Life lemonade. Set the intention to have a strong beginning. Let this just enjoy this. So look, I'm double fisting. I've got my surge protector that I'm going to make sure I complete. Now listen, if this was nasty, I couldn't follow this with this or this with this. This is very good. Surge protector, Love Life lemonade. Take this with you this strong beginning. Treat your family and friends. Treat the kids. I'm like, green lemonade, oh my gosh. It's so good. Liquid chlorophyll. You can find this in any health food store. You might be able to find it at a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, or you could actually order it online. But I use this particular brand. I've been using it for many years, World Organic. It's never done me wrong. And it literally is a one-stop shop. Liquid chlorophyll is also the equivalent of having like several bowls of salad or of dark leafy greens. So you're getting your greens, you're getting your nutrients, you're getting strength, you're feeling good because you're healthy. I'm smiling because I'm happy. And if I had you over, I'd be giving you this and you say, oh, Kheperah, this is not bad. And then I treat you to some cherries and we just have a good old time. This is my self-care. My self-care is taking the time to find creative ways to create drinks, that taste good, that make me feel good. To that end, I want to continue a little bit and share some more of the apothecary, right? Sharon Lee talked about safety, self-care, health. So, we did the health and a little bit of the self-care, right? We have our home spray, our aromatherapy. We did a little ringing of the Tibetan singing bowl. That was some self-care, some self-love. Wait, I need some more cherries. This is my self-care. I don't know about you, but does it look like I'm having fun? Because I am. So I also just wanted to share my apothecary. You want to make sure for this surge protector that you really are fortified, right? Because you want to make sure you stay strong and healthy. And at Life Camp, we believe that a healthy mind and body creates a peaceful community. Do you know how much rage I have to build in myself before I can spew it out? That means I actually have to destroy my own nervous system in order to hurt you. Why do I want to do that? Maybe there's another way that I can express my frustration. Maybe there's another way that if I have a need that's not being met, I can get with people to figure out, how can I move a needle economically? How can I create a new law? How can I utilize my voting power? How can I connect with elders and people who are in my community who are wiser, who can help me gain some knowledge and wisdom so I can find a new way to fight, if that's what it is that I need to do, or to resolve a conflict? Do you know that more times than not, the first place conflict begins is within yourself? And everybody is stressed out. I showed you the circuit breaker. So when you experience people who are coming at you with all of this drama, protect your personal space. Keep your personal space calm and don't let their energy come into your space. More importantly, see them with compassion. They are hurting. There are only two energies that are always in motion, and they are love and fear. That's it. Energy in motion is emotion. And love is an energy that expands and connects. Like, hey, how you doing? Come on over, have some cherries. Have some of this Love Life lemonade. And did you have your surge protector, baby? That's love, right? Love is seeking first to understand, wow, this person's having a really bad day, or I really don't like the way you spoke to me, but what you speak shouldn't make me sick. I shouldn't step out of my square. I shouldn't create rage in my body just to deal with your pain. Fear is an energy that contracts and separates. And so if you recognize that fear is just an energy, it's just an energy that's always in motion, and neither can be created or destroyed, but love conquers fear. So when we talk about loving ourselves and self-care, we're talking about creating space inside of ourselves so that we can feel expansive, so our minds can be clear, so we can tap into the supreme intelligence that's available to all of us to come up with new ideas and new ways of thinking and being. That's what we want. I can't continue to do this all the time. It's not going to get me anywhere. It's matter against matter. It's going to be destroyed. And then what's left? But what I can do is decide that I want to live. I'm going to decide that if I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here now. I'm going to be fully present. I'm going to focus on today and this moment, because that's the only thing you can control. Stress and anxiety comes from fear of the future. What if on 4th of July this happens? Or looking at the past and projecting it into the present. You know, last time, that's what happened. But neither of those things are in this moment. In this moment, we're having Love Life lemonade. In this moment, we have everything we need. Remind yourself. In this moment, that's all I'm focused on. Let me get grounded. When I start to feel the stress, I feel the stress in my body. Where am I? Let me ground myself. Let me ring my bell. Let me hum. Let me bring myself back. Okay, all right, okay. The situation is still there. Let me just put some space between me and the situation so I can get clear. Let me cleanse. Let me detoxify my blood. Let me take a bath. Let me burn some incense, or light a candle, or spray some aromatherapy. And once I create space and I have something else that's alkaline, then I can think. And then the ancestors, the wisdom that's inherent, show me what to do. Try that. In the meantime, allow me to introduce you to my apothecary. So, just in the spirit of staying healthy, I've got some turmeric in a tincture because maybe you can't find turmeric root at the store, and that's okay. You just open it up and just take a drop. Now, it's not going to taste great, but bitters make the blood sweet. Sugar makes the blood bitter. So you decide. Oil of oregano is your friend. Oil of oregano is a natural antibiotic. It is also antiviral. So you can keep this with you if you're going to be outside. You definitely want to take all of your tonics and tinctures before you go outside and when you come back inside. So that's that internal mask. By the way, I forgot to tell you, today's remind is stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Now, I don't know who said that because so many people have told me that quote over the years. So forgive me for not giving credit to the person who originated that, but everybody in the street knows that phrase. So kudos to the person who created it. But again, stay ready, right? Put on your internal mask. Build your surge protector. If you do these things, your surge protector 2 days before this strong beginning, you bring out your Love Life lemonade, you take your tinctures before you go outside, and when you come back in, your body will be ready. So you don't have to wait for another surge for you to panic and then go, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do, right? Vitamin C, everybody's got to take it. Vitamin C every single day, because again, it protects the cells from coming under attack. Vitamin D is so necessary because most of us are living in spaces where we don't get a lot of sunlight. And so again, chlorophyll allows you to absorb the rays from the sun to really nurture the body. But if you're not getting sunlight, you got to get the vitamin D. Vitamin D promotes what you call homeostasis, which is overall balance within the body. And it allows the body to function at the highest levels to keep you healthy. Elderberry, another aspect of vitamin C. Elderberry, you can buy it in a tincture or a tea. It allows the cells to prevent the cold and flu from attacking the cells. Like it protects the cells from free radicals. So you definitely want to have your elderberry. Of course, your Irish moss. I have this in a powder. Some people buy the actual Irish moss, the sea plant, the sea vegetable, and then they wash it down and blend it and make a gel. But I just bought the powder and I put the powder in my drinks, and it does make my drinks taste like seaweed. But you know what? I've just gotten used to getting gangster with my drinks. But the Irish sea moss is also an immune builder. It's an overall body builder. So good for you on all levels. And of course, black seed oil, again, antiviral, immune building, also good for the hair. And for the stress, I've got my, I thought I bought some ashwagandha. Ashwagandha sounds like one of them words like, ashwagandha, go to the store. I'm being so silly. Stop it, Kheperah. Having too much fun by myself. But holy basil is also good for stress relief. So, and it's also good for immune building. So there you have it. Some of my tinctures, some of my apothecary, and of course, live food, because food that contains life contains water. And so I pray that you enjoy this. I know I did. I've got my surge protector. Be mindful of your inputs. I had a wonderful conversation. I was blessed to speak to Ayana Van Zant yesterday. And she said that everybody comes to her to fix their lives, right? There are so many of us out on the front lines who are serving, who are helping people, first responders, our brothers and sisters in the New York City crisis management system, parents who take care of children, adults who take care of their elders, any care provider, any service provider. You're taking on not only the well-being of yourself, but someone else. So be mindful of everyone that's plugged into you, and be mindful that you can get overloaded. Where do you plug in? Where's your outlet? Consider music, put together your playlist, no words, just rhythms. Maybe some jazz, maybe some drums, maybe some tones. Consider taking a warm shower or a nice warm bath, maybe with some Epsom salts or some scented salts. Put a little lavender in your bath. Just take those pockets of time for yourself. The same way that you could actually say, okay, I'm going to do it in a minute, and you're scrolling and you're scrolling and you're scrolling on your phone. Just give yourself that time. Most of us have such a fascination with death that the only time we are actually still and in silence is when we're giving a moment of silence to someone who's no longer with us. I encourage you to give that moment of silence to yourself, to create space, more space, more space between stimulus and your response. So take some time to be still. Take some time to sit down. You're not really missing anything if you decide to stay in this strong beginning and have your love life lemonade and watch a show. You're not missing anything. If you want to connect with family, do that, but do it safely. Be mindful that even if you feel fine, you don't want to infect anyone else. Get creative with your mask. Put some rosemary, like Sharon Lee said, or some lavender, or some lemon peels, or some orange, But make your playlist and honor your body and give yourself your space. And most of all, have a strong beginning. Be safe out there. Love on yourself because you are all you've got. And I need you because if you're not well, I'm not well. And we're not well till we're all healed. So we got work to do. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Thank you, everyone.